Okay, so here he has given a truss having 3 members. So this is one member, this is the second member, and this is the third member. He has given the number of that members also. This is member 1, member 2, and member 3.
3.
So here each member is having different areas. So here what he has said, the area for the element 1 and 2 is 6e minus 4 meter square. So for this element and for this element, the area is 6e minus 4 meter square. And for this element, the area is 8.485 e minus 4 meter square. Okay, and also he has given these members are made of same material. The Young's modulus of the material for that members is 210 GPa. Then it is subjected to a load of 10,000 kilonewtons at this particular node in the horizontal direction. Then it is constrained. So here you have a hinge support, here you have a roller support, here also roller support, but the roller support is inclined here. It's not parallel to your x-axis or parallel to y-axis. It is inclined with respect to your x-axis or y-axis. If I take x-axis, so this is the inclination. So that is nothing but that inclination is 45 degrees. So now our aim for this problem is we want to determine what are the nodal displacements first. So that's what he has asked in the question also. Determine the nodal displacements. Then the next one is element stresses. So this is the aim of the problem. The aim is so to determine the nodal displacements and then stress in each element. So that means how many nodes you have? Node 1, node 2, node 3 is there. 3 elements are also there are 3 elements 1, 2, 3. So that means you need to compute what are the displacements of nodes 1, 2, 3. Means what is the again see here it is a 2-dimensional problem, plane truss. So it is a plane truss. This each node will have 2 degrees of freedom. That means this node is permitted to move in this direction, x direction, as well as y direction. So each node is permitted to translate in 2 directions, that is x and y. So therefore you need to compute what is the x displacement of node 1, node 2, node 3. Similarly, what is the y displacements of node 1 and node 2. So that is the first part of the problem. Then second part, you need to compute what are the stresses. Okay. So to solve this problem, we'll use that ANSYS software. I already given some practice exercise to you in the previous class. You might have practiced it. So how the user interface will be, I think you are familiar with the interface. Now what I'll do is, I'll show you the demo, how we can solve this problem using software. So then you can practice and later you can record the experiment. So now to solve the problem, first what we need to do is, we need to create the FE model. So FE model consists of nodes and elements. So that means here I have 3 nodes and 3 elements. So first step is I have to create the 3 nodes. Then I have to create the 3 elements using these 3 nodes. So for let us say I'll fix the origin here. So you can see here he has shown the coordinate system xy is here. So that means at node 1 I'll fix the coordinate system. So then what are the coordinates for node 1? Hello?
Sir.
What are the coordinates for node 1?
0, 0, 1. Okay, 0, 0.
It is a plane. Okay, I don't talk about the z values. I will talk about xy. What is the x coordinate? What is the y coordinate for node 1? Similarly, what is the x coordinate for node 2? Here, this is
0.
What is x? X is
0, sir.
Y is? What is the y coordinate? 0. So from this point to this point, what is the vertical distance? Yes, given that one as
1 meter. 1 meter, sir.
So I'll take it as 0, 1.
1.
Then what are the coordinates for the third node? Third node is here. So what is the x distance from this point to this point? What is the horizontal distance?
1, sir.
1. X coordinate is 1. Similarly, what is the vertical distance from y axis, x axis to this point? That is also 1.
1.
So therefore we identify the coordinates, nodal coordinates. For node 1 it is 0 comma 0, for node 2 0 comma 1, for node 3 it is 1 comma
1,
1 comma 1. So now next I'll create the elements. So how I can create the elements? Just by joining node 1 and node 2, I'll get the first element. Then joining node 2 to node 3, I'll get the second element. Then joining node 1 to node 3, I'll
Third
get
element.
third element. So there with that I completed my finite element model. So that means I created the nodes and elements. But the thing here is, since the areas are different here, so for these two areas for element 1 and element 2 is 6e minus 4, whereas for element 3 it is 8.485 into e minus 4. So if it is
Yes, sir.
for all the elements, directly I can give the one value only. But here I need to define two different areas. So for element 1 and element 2 it is 6e minus 4. For element 3 it is 8.485 into 10e minus 4 meter square. So before creating these nodes and elements, first I'll define these material properties. So what are the material properties here? I have to choose. I have to define Young's modulus. I have to define. Then I need to define what is the area 1 and what is the area 2. Area 1 is for element 1 and element 2. Area 2 is for element 3. So, and also one more problem here, one more important point what we need to remember is, always your units should be consistent. See here, what is the load he is applying here?
100,000 kilonewton.
1000 kilonewtons. Load is in kilonewtons.
Kilonewtons.
What are the length dimensions he has given?
Meters.
So, but what is the Young's modulus here he has given? 210
Gigapascal.
Means GPM means what it is?
Gigapascal.
210 into 10 power 9 pascals, right?
Yes, sir.
1 pascal is equal to
10
what?
power 10 power 6, sir.
1 Newton per meter square. 1 pascal is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. So that means here your load is kilonewtons. If you write 210 into 10 power 9, what it becomes? 2 into 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. So here the load unit is Newton, here the load is kilonewton. So therefore what you have to do is, you have to change this load into newtons, right? So because
Yes,
length
sir.
meter is no problem. Meter square you can use it here, but only thing is you have to take the load as 1000 into 1000. So
1000.
is 1000 newtons, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So 1000 into 1000, I have to take the load as 1000 into 1000. Then I need to enter the Young's modulus as into 10 power 9. So right.
9.
So I will define the Young's modulus. I'll define the areas. Then what is the element type I need to use here? So from the diagram, it is clear that you need to create an element to connecting two elements only, the two nodes only, node 1 and node 2, or node 2 to node 3, or node 1 to node 3. So that means you need to select an element which is to define an element consists of only two nodes. So for that element here in our software, link element is going to be the element which will connect these two nodes. Not only that, only two nodes, but this link element is used for axially force members. If you take this truss structure here, each member in this truss, they are capable of taking only axial loads, or simply they will call it as a two force members. That means they can carry either tension load or compression load only. They won't take any bending moment or any twisting moment. So they are capable of taking only the axial loads or two force members. So therefore we need to choose this element. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is the background description for this. Then I'll keep this one is aside and I'll try to show you demo how to solve this in the software.
Okay, sir.
So for data purpose, I'll keep this in aside. So now I'll open the software. So your software window will look like this. We already done. You already have some familiarity with this one. Next, first step, what I have to do is I have to go for preprocessor. Then I need to click on add element type. Then add, edit, and delete, because I need to add the link element here. So first,
Okay, sir.
add here. then I'll select this link. So default element is 180. So you take that one as a default. Okay. So what I did,
Okay, sir.
I added link 180 element. Then I'll go for the material properties. So what are the material properties we need to define here is go to the material model, structural, linear, elastic, isotropic material. So Young's modulus is 210
210.
9. 210 GPa. So I'll write it as 210 into 10 power 9. 10 power 9 is nothing but E9. You can write it like this. Then
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ratio has not given any value. I'll enter it as a 0. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So I added the element using this element option. I added the element here. Link 180 is my element. Then I define the material properties just by defining the material model. So whose properties is 2.1 into E11 or 210 into 10 power 9. So both are same. Poisson's ratio is 0. Then I need to define those two cross-sectional areas for the elements. So for that, I'll go for sections. Then you need to click on link here. Then click add. First section, I'll give the section ID as 1. Okay. So then section name, whether if you want to give it the name, you can give it or not. That is your choice. But you need to enter the year. This link area is the important thing here. You need to enter that area. So what is the area for the first one? Area, first area is 6e minus 4. So
Yes, sir.
I will enter that 6e minus 4 here. 6e minus 4. Okay. Then I need to enter one more area, or I need to add one more area. So they can click again and add. So now the section ID, you give it as 2. Then click
Yes,
OK.
sir.
So then what is the second area here?
6 E minus 4.
No, the second area is 8 point. First area is for element 1 and 2, that is 6e minus 4. 1 is sufficient.
Okay, sir.
So if it is same.
Okay,
The
sir.
second area
Okay,
is
sir.
8.485
485.
E minus
E
4.
minus. Okay, sir.
Okay, I'll enter the area here. 8.485 into E minus 4. Okay. So now
Okay, sir.
once you've done that, again you can recheck again you define them properly or not. So to check those things, what you have to do here is you go here list. Then first I'll go for properties. First I'll check I define the material property correctly or not. So if I click on materials, see it is showing that Young's modulus Ex is 0.21 into 10 power 12 is nothing but whatever you define 210 into E minus 9 and Poisson's ratio is.
Okay.
Then similarly you can list the areas also. Here you can go for section properties. See link area 1 is 6E minus 4 and link area 2 is, see here you can see the number also. Section ID
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
1 is 0.6 into E minus 3 is nothing but 6E minus 4 and for 2 is 0.8485 into E minus 3. So now I define all the prerequisite data, that is element type, material properties and section data. Now I'll create the node numbers. So to create the node numbers, the screen is visible to you or not?
Yes, sir. But
Okay.
just now. But just I can't see, sir.
You can't see?
No, sir.
Still it is in presentation mode only, na? Why
Yes,
you
sir.
see that? Huh?
I too don't know, sir.
Which one you are not able to see? ANSYS software window is visible to you or not?
Yes, sir. Just now I saw ANSYS software window.
Now it is visible to you or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So then I'll go for modeling. I'll create the nodes first. So to do that, I'll go for create nodes in active coordinate system. So we already defined the coordinate system at 0, 0. Then you need to give corresponding XYZ coordinates. So node number is here, it is 1. What is the coordinates for node 1?
0, 0.
0. X0. See here it is asking for what is XYZ location. So X is 0, Y is 0. Click apply. Then you change the node number to 2. And what are the coordinates for node 2?
0, 1.
Comma 1. So enter x is 0, y is 1. Then click apply. Then again enter node number 3 here and enter its corresponding
1,
coordinate.
1.
1 comma 1. So then this is the last, so that I can click OK. It is closed. See, now we can see here 3 nodes are created. This is node 1, this is node 2, and this is node 3. And you can counter check also whether you define properly or not. So for that, what you have to do is click on list, you go for nodes, then you click OK here. See, node 1 is at x0, y0, z0. Node 2 is 0, 1, 0. Node 3 is
Okay, sir.
1, 1,
1, 1, 0.
So once you verify that, you are make sure that if it is correct, then we'll go for creation of the elements. So for that,
Okay.
first element is connected to node 1 and node 2.
Node 2.
Second element is connected to 2 to 3. Third one is connected to
3 to 1.
3 to 1 or 1 to 3. Any order, it doesn't matter. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
I'll create the elements. So now you minimize this nodes option, then go for under same modeling, create. So there you have element option is there. In that, first what you have to do is, while creating the elements, you need to set the properties for the elements. That means what is the material what is the Young's modulus, and what is the areas for that. So to do that, what you have to do is just click on this element attributes. See here, element is link 180, material number is only we have material. For all the elements, a material is only 1, so that is okay, 1. No need to change that. But only thing is, you need to change the section values. So for element 1 and element 2, area is 1. For element 3, area should be 2. You have to select like this. So I'll keep 1, 1 for element 1 and 2. I'll change it to 2 for element 3. So
Okay,
click.
sir.
Then go for auto numbered through nodes. So then a dialog box will open and it will ask you to pick the node numbers. So I have to select node 1 and node 2. Then click apply. So that the first element will be created. Then I'll select node 2 and node 3. Then click OK. So second element is created. So
Okay,
then
sir.
I want to create the third element, but now I can't use the same options because I want to change the area for that. So again, go back to element attributes, change the section number to 2, click OK. Then use again the same option, auto number through nodes. Either you can select 1, 3 or 3, 1. In any order you can do it. The third element is also created. So now if you want to see what is the numbers for this. So I said this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Whether they are correct or not, what you have to do is you go for your plot controls. In that you have a numbering option is there. So in that you can go for element attribute numbering. You make it to element number on. Then click and replot it or plot multi-plots. See here it is showing, here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3. But what happened to the node numbers? They are disappear now. If you want to bring back those node numbers also here, you go for here, you keep node numbers on, they will also come. So 1, 2, 3 are the node numbers. This element number is 1, element number 2 and element number 3.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So this is our FE model. Next step is we need to apply what are the constraints for this problem. Constraint means the supports. See here at this part, node 1, you have a engine support, node 2 roller support, and node 3 also roller support. So at engine support, see, I already told you there are only 2 degrees of freedom for each node, so it can translate along X and Y. Since it is engine support, this node is completely constrained. It cannot move as X direction as well as Y direction. So to apply that constraint. At node 2, it cannot move in a vertical direction. It can move in a horizontal direction because there is a roller support is there for that. So
Yes, sir.
I will apply these 2 constraints now. So at node 1, I have engine support. So to apply that constraints, then what I need to do is I need to go for loads, define loads, apply. Even though it is a support, that is listed in the software as a load only. So go for define loads, apply. Then since our analysis is structural analysis, you need to take structural. then go for displacement. Where we are applying the constraint, we are applying the constraints for the nodes. So I'll select on nodes, then pick this node, click OK. So then what are the degrees of freedom you need to constrain? Ux, Uy, both
Uy.
constraint. So select Ux, Uy for this. See here, you can see two triangles will place. One triangle for one direction. So this is for vertical direction and this is for the horizontal direction. Then I want to apply the constraint on node 2 again. So I'll go for the same option again. I'll select node 2, click OK. Now what are the constraints for node 2? Only Uy is
Uy.
roller support is there, only Uy is constraint. I'll select that one as Uy. See, you can see only in vertical direction it will be a constraint. Okay, right.
Yes, sir.
So next one is a multi-point constraint. See here, you can see here in this, your roller support is not parallel to x-axis, not parallel to y-axis. See here, in the previous two, see here, if I constrain in x direction, it is placing like this. If I constrain y direction, I can place triangle will be placed like this. So, but here you have a inclined support, so you cannot use this option to apply those inclined support. Then what you need to do is you need to use another option which is called multi-point constraint. That means you need to identify what is the relation between U translation and V translation. That is what is Ux and what is Uy. So for this, what I will do is, again I will go for the presentation mode for this. I'll take the pen. See here now, this is my X displacement. This is Y displacement. But the roller support is something like this, means this point is permitted to move along this direction, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the angle? This angle is given as 45 degrees. So now what I'll do is, if I resolve this displacement, or else in this direction, if I take what is the displacement in this direction? See, this is a roller support. Here this is a roller support, right? Is it permitted to move in this vertical direction for this roller support?
No, sir.
It is not permitted. So perpendicular to the roller support, the displacement is not allowed, right?
Yes, sir.
This is the parallel direction, it is allowed. So here this is the perpendicular direction or parallel direction?
Parallel direction, sir.
For this roller support, this is the parallel direction. Only displacement is allowed in this direction, right?
Yes, sir.
It is not allowed in this direction. Means not allowed means what is the value?
0.
0. So that means I'll take this one is, see, that's why he put it as a new coordinate system. Here it is x dash and y dash. So what is the displacement in y dash direction? 0, right?
Yeah.
Y dash is something like this, right?
Yes, sir.
X dash direction there is a displacement, but in y dash it is 0.
0.
But in the y direction is 0. But if I resolve that one is along this our x and y, how I can resolve that? What is the component of this displacement along this direction?
Second component.
So this angle is 40. This angle is also 45 degrees, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I take this is ux, this displacement is ux, and this vertical displacement is uy. This is ux and this is uy. So then how I can write it? Suppose, okay, I'll say something like this. In this direction, negative direction, uy is negative direction. If I draw a line like this, so if you remember a resolution of a forces, so this is the resultant. This is the resultant displacement. This is the horizontal component, and this is the vertical component. So what is the value for the horizontal component?
Ux.
If this theta is, this angle is theta, if r cos theta, right?
Yes, sir. R cos theta.
This one is going to be
R sin theta.
r sin theta. So here what is the value of theta?
45 degrees.
So sin theta is also same as for cos theta or not? Sin 45 equal to cos 45, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So therefore, so sin 45 cos 45 equal means this is equal to this, right or not?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, what you can say here, it is a positive quantity. Ux is in positive direction and the
U
vertical displacement is in
negative direction.
negative direction. So therefore, the resultant, how we can write is ux is a positive minus, because uy is negative. Uy is equal to, what is the net displacement?
0.
0. So resultant is 0. So therefore,
0.
x minus uy is equal to 0.
0.
Equation, what we'll call it as the constraint equation, CE. So our multi-point, why we will call it as multi-point means we are written this constraint equation for 2 degrees of freedom. One is ux degree of freedom, another one is uy degree of freedom. That's why it is called multi-point constraint. It is a constraint equation. That means constraints means a constraint relation between 2 degrees of freedom. So that's why it is called multi-point constraints. So now I need to define this constraint equation in the software, so that
Okay.
this support can be modeled as a roller support. So now I'll go back to the software. Okay. So now I need to apply that constraint support here. So to do that,
Okay.
in the software, you need to go for a modeling. Okay, not modeling. See here, you have an option C equation. C equation stands for coupling equation. You click on this
Okay, sir.
coupling slash or C equation. In that you have first one is for the coupled one. Then you have an option called constraint equation. You select that constraint equation. So then a dialog box will be open. See, your constraint equation is something like this. Constant is equal to C1 into label into node 1 plus C2 into label into node 2 plus C3 into label into node 3 and plus so on. So here we need to apply whatever equation we got it there, we need to apply that here. What is our equation?
Ux minus uy equal to 0.
0. So right side of the equation is going to be constant. What is the value of the constant? It is constant value for our equation is 0, because
0.
x minus uy is equal to 0. Instead of 0, you have some other value, you have to enter that value. So here, what is the
Okay.
value of our constant term for our problem?
0.
Enter constant term as 0. Then C1, C2, C3, they are coefficients. So lab 1, node 1 means there are degrees of freedom. So like in our equation, you have ux, uy. So lab
Yes, sir.
1 is ux, lab 2, node 2 is uy. 3 we don't have, only 2. So therefore, you can use this equation for any number of degrees of freedom, but in our equation we have only 2. So therefore, I'll use only up to this point, only 2 terms in this equation. For those 2 terms, so what is our equation here? You have C1 is going to be 1. Coefficient for ux
Ux 1
for x is 1 and coefficient for uy
minus 1.
minus 1. So I need to enter only those 2. So here what is the node number? For what node we are applying this constraint equation? We are applying for node number 3, right?
3. Yes, sir.
So you need to enter node number here, it is 3. And what is the degrees of freedom in that equation? First ux, what is its coefficient?
1.
Then similarly, second term in the equation, you need to go for, what is the node number? Again the node number is 3. For same node only we are applying, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the degree of freedom label?
Uy
Yes, uy. Then what is
minus 1.
it?
Minus 1.
So that's it. You make sure that you enter the data correctly. Then you can click OK. So what you need to check is constant term should be 0. Then the constant equation is applied for node 3 only, and for first degree of freedom ux coefficient is +1, for uy it is -1. Then click OK. See, now it is putting two triangles here in red color. Here these are in green color, these are in red color. So to differentiate, this support is different from this support. Then
Yes,
next,
sir.
what we need to do, you can check whether you define your constraint equation properly or not. So how we can check it is, go for properties, other. Then in this you have constraint equation.
Constraint equation.
You select all. So now you can see it is constraint is applied for node 3 only. direction ux, uy, coefficient 1 plus 1 minus 1. So you can check like this. Once you make sure that your equation is correct, then we'll move further. Last thing what we need to do is we need to apply a load here. So what is the load we need to apply? 1000 kilonewtons.
1000 kilonewtons.
Convert that 1000 into kilonewtons into newtons, right? So again I'll
Yes,
go
sir.
to the loads. Then instead of displacement, now it is a force or movement.
Force.
You apply you see force, movement, pressure, temperature, like this. There is a list of loads are there, but in our problem we have only force. We need to select force first. Then where we need to apply for the second node. So therefore
Node.
you need to select on nodes. Then you have to select that node to click OK. Then it is asking for direction and magnitude. In which direction it is applied?
X, sir.
Fx direction. So positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. So what is the value? So positive. If it is negative, you have to enter minus with a minus sign. If it is positive, you have to enter only value. So 1000 E3.
3.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Kilonewtons, I converted that one into newtons. So click OK. See, now it will show you the arrow direction also. So the load is like this only. He has given in the problem. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that with this we completed that pre-processor. So that means we created the nodes, we created the elements, we defined the attributes for all the elements, we applied the constraints, we apply the nodes also. See, now you can see here it is putting based on constraint, it is putting the some labels also. Here this pink color is something like CE, F is for force, here red arrow is for force, U is for blue color, this blue color is for displacement constraints. So you can check counter check like that also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Once you done all these things, then I'll go for solution only. I need to solve this. So go for
Okay.
solution. Then what you have to do is solve current load step, current LS. Click OK. See, if you done everything properly, it will solve for you very quickly. It will solve. Okay. So solution is
Okay. Okay, sir.
then after solving, what we need is what is the actual aim? We need to find out what are the nodal displacements, right? And then
Yes, sir.
element stresses. So for that, what I do is I'll go for to extract the results from the solution. I'll go for general post processor. Then either I can list or I can plot. Two options are available. So I can plot the result. I can list the results. First, I'll go for the list results. Then nodal solution. So degree of freedom solution, you need to go for degree of freedom is nothing but under degrees of solution only you have x component of displacement, y component of displacement and z component of displacement. Click nodal solution. Okay, you need to select x component of displacement, then click OK. So now it is listing the values for you. So at node 1, ux is 0. At node 2, ux is this value. At node 3, ux is 0.396 into e minus 2. So what are the units for this UI displacements?
Sir.
What are the units for the displacements here you will get?
Hello, sir.
Are you there? Hello?
Hello. Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the screen?
Oh, I can't hear your voice, sir.
Is the screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir,
So
yes, sir.
what are the values you are seeing here? What is the value for ux you are seeing here?
0. 1.
0 at what node?
Uh, 11905 e minus 001.
Okay, that is what at node, at what node?
And for third node,
Okay.
second node. For third node, 0.3968
minus 2.
minus 2. Yes, sir.
So these
minus
are
2.
ux displacement in x direction. Similarly,
Okay, sir.
nodal displacement along y direction. So I will select now y component of displacement. then you can list the values also. So these are the nodal displacement in y direction. At node 1 0, node 2 0, node 3 you have 0.3968 e minus 2. See, you get
Yes, sir.
see here, ux uy are same at node 3. Why they are same? ux at node 3 is 0.39684 e minus 2. Here also 0.39684 e minus 2. What is your
Yes, sir.
calculation? Ux minus uy is equal to,
0.
means ux is equal to uy only, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's why you are getting the same values. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
note down these values. You need to note down these values and you need to record it, because that is the result what you required. In the problem, what you asked is calculate the nodal displacements. So at node 1, ux is 0 and uy is 0. At node 2, ux is 0.119 into e minus 1 and uy is 0. At node 3, 0.3968 into e minus 2, and at node 3, uy is also same 0.39684 e minus 2. But the units here are meters. That is important. Units are important because you are taking length units as meters. So
Yes, sir.
here also will get meters. So you multiply these values by 1000, then you will get in mm. So better write in mm. If you convert it,
Okay, sir.
what I'll get is 11.9, 3.968. I'll get it here. So
Okay, sir.
9 and 3.968. You are going to get the displacements. Once I done with the displacements, then what you need to do is you need to find out the next one. So what are the element stresses? So that is the second question in the problem. For that, what
Yes, sir.
is I'll close these two values. Then I'll go for an option which is called element table is there. In that, first I need to define the element table. Define element table, then click add. So now a dialog box will open here. In the left side, what you have to do is you need to go for completely bottom, and you need to select by sequence number option. Then in the right side, you have to select ls. Then here you can click it as enter 1. Then click OK. So then we make sure that here item should be ls and component should be 1. You need to get that value here. So once you've done that, click OK. Then you can go for list element table. So you select whatever label you are given there, ls1. You can select that, and then you will get the results for the 3 elements. So the stress in the first element is going to be 0. Second element it is going to be this much.
Minus.
Negative means the second element is under compression and third element is under tension. So it is tensile. So here these units, what are the units for the stress value? The stress values are in Newton per meter square, pascals. So,
Okay.
so these are in pascals. If you convert this one into megapascals divided by 10 power 6, I think you will get 83.3 in the third element, 16.67 in the second element, 16.6
Okay.
MPa in second element, and 83.3 in third element. Whereas in first element, the values are 0.
0.
Right? So this is how you need to solve the problem. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You need to note down the results. Then you need to draw that FE model, what I have given to you, what I have explained to you. Then later you can record it. So when you come to the college now, so at the time you can submit the record also. Okay? So right now what I will record.
Sir,
Yeah.
will you send any record copy to me, sir?
Right now I don't have any record copy with me. They are in the college only, na.
Okay, sir.
Even that record also different. So I have selected different problem. You cannot copy that. So this may be different. Previous one is maybe the data is different because I have not access to those records. So only thing is from the website I downloaded the syllabus. Then from that syllabus, based on the problem, I choosing the problem and will try to solve that one. So previous one is maybe different, or I don't know exactly I have given the same problem there or not. So
Okay, sir.
you don't hurry in that. So ఈ రోజు చెప్తే ఈ రోజు వచ్చి ఈ రోజు రికార్డ్ రాయాలని కంగారు ఏం లేదు. You take time, you come back to the college, then after that. So before that, you practice these things and then you make sure that you learn all those things, right?
Okay, sir.
రికార్డ్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది మా అయితే 3 పేజీలు ఉంటుంది. ఎంత ఎన్ని రోజులు పట్టింది రాయడానికి? 1 గంట కూర్చుంటే 3-4 ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్లు ఒకేసారి రాసేయచ్చు. అది పెద్ద కష్టం కాదు. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే
ఓకే సార్.
అబ్జర్వేషన్ లో నోట్ చేసి పెట్టు ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ అంతా.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్పిన ప్రొసీజర్ మొత్తం అబ్జర్వేషన్ లో రాయాలా సార్?
రాసుకుంటే రాసుకో, నీకు గుర్తుండాలనుకుంటే రాసుకుంటే రాసుకో, లేదు నాకు వచ్చిందిలే నేను అంతా నాకు తెలుసు అనుకుంటే నీ ఇష్టం. దట్ ఈస్ అప్ టు యూ.
లేదు లేదు సార్. ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే,
ఓకే సార్.
సో నా ఐఎమ్ క్లోజింగ్ ఇట్.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, రైట్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.